guys get started with questions for Kalib, Boone, and Mcgriff. You guys are going to take the fellas.
Before the game, I was talking to John Holcomb, and I asked him, I said, how are the younger players hanging in through the season? And he said they're taking their cues from the older guys. So talk a little bit about that, and it was appropriate tonight because you two guys really, in that first half, played off each other pretty good.
Yeah, Kim, Wendell, Thomas, all the other guys, they're keeping us young guys in check, but also teaching us stuff at the same time, and also being hard on us. I mean, I can't count how many times Kim has went off me just because I didn't cut or I didn't look for the dump off. And playing with Kim and him doing that has helped me and make me more relaxed and confident.
Oh yeah, those kids. I mean, all the freshmen as a whole, they're sponges. They definitely can take good coaching, from anybody. I mean, I'm not a coach, but I try to reflect what coach tells us as seniors and just what I've learned in my 4 years of college. And they're soaking it all in. Throughout the whole year, they've been emerging, as you can see. His growth from the beginning of the season to now, is remarkable, to watch.
Cam, how did you approach this game, just knowing it would be your last Bedlam in GI? I know you talked a little bit about that on our availability before.
Just being aggressive on both ends of the floor. It's a huge game for our fans in this university. And being a kid from Grand Prairie, Texas, I really didn't know how much it meant to the state of Oklahoma until I actually got here. So, it's definitely a moment that I'll cherish for a pretty long time, my whole life.
You also talked the other day about wanting to be in postseason, that it means a lot for you to finish your career here in postseason. This was a big game toward getting there. It was huge.
For sure. This team is definitely, many people may think the season's over, but we believe amongst each other, and the guys in the locker room, we're all locked in. And guys, we come in to work every day. We're definitely looking like the team that played in New York again. So, we're trying to get towards that and be even better.
And what did you guys do different on Brady Manic today that you didn't do in normal?
Don't let him catch the ball. I think that's pretty important. We know how important he is to that team, how great of a shooter he is. So we had to key in on him and make sure he was an important, matchup throughout the game.
Go ahead.
You ended up knocking down 4 3-pointers, but you started the game really asserting yourself and, kind of bullying down low. Did those buckets down low kind of get your outside game going?
Most definitely. Coach has been preaching to me throughout the whole season, just to play inside out. Keep going inside until they stop you, and then you can show how capable you are from three. So, or just on any jump shot. So I just, really just honed in on that and owned it for these past couple months, just trying to play inside out, and it's worked well in our team's favor. I think a lot of guys have been doing that at a higher level. JL as well, he's been playing inside out. So, once we figured out that, the game really opens up for us.
Kalib, when you had those moments, whether you were dancing on the sideline or, hyping up the crowd in the middle of the court, what was it like just for you all feeding off each other and the crowd's energy?
It felt great, man. If y'all can't tell by now, I love to dance on the sidelines when my guys do something crazy. And I love to, let it be known on the court, too. I love to show my energy. And the crowd gives me energy. Everybody in that arena gives me energy. So it just feels great. And I was happy today that I played in this game. And I can see the energy come out of me.
Being a kid from Oklahoma, did that first half kind of feel like a dream?
Yeah, kind of. I was it was just crazy because, when I first committed here, I came here 2 years ago, and I saw them play on OU when they had Trae Young, and I just saw the atmosphere. I was like, yeah, this is the game I want to play in, and I can't wait to play in it. And getting to play them this year, my freshman year, and come out with the win, it just felt amazing. And that first half was unbelievable for me. I had 12 points in the first half. That was crazy.
Cam, there was a stretch there where Manic's on you, and he's daring you to shoot the three. Mm-hmm. What are you thinking about there? Because you pump faked at least twice.
Do you remember that? There's really nothing to really think about when you play basketball. It's kind of an instinctive game. So, I mean, what did I do that possession? I don't know.
You fake
Did I shoot it?
threes. Yeah, you ended up shooting three and making it.
Oh,
He was
okay.
trying to
I mean,
dare you to
yeah.
drive, and
I think, wasn't it when he was in the corner?
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, well, I wasn't really thinking much. You know, I just go out there and try to play, just play the game, have fun, play free. I mean, that's really the best way to play it. So it's really nothing I was really thinking about, to answer your question.
Even though he didn't have as much show up on the stat line, Avery had some, was really involved in you all's defense. What did you think of his defensive play today?
That was great. You know, that's a defender that we know Avery can be every night. You know, he can definitely disrupt people on the perimeter, get his hands on a lot of balls, and you know, just playing with high energy. I think we knew that it was, you know, the game of like this magnitude. I think the whole team was locked in on both ends of the court, so it just showed up. I mean, he got his hands on a lot of balls. I mean, I don't think deflections are showed on the box score, but I'm pretty sure his number is pretty up there.
When did Mike reveal to you guys that he was going to wear the orange blazer?
Yeah.
He never did he?
But when we saw it, I was like, that's hard. That's tough. I said, that's tough.
You know, you've had these last few games. You've kind of showed out in some games. How has these stretch of games been for you? Just, you know, showing that you can play at this level.
It feels good, honestly. At this point, it has to be something that mentally for me to just tell myself like I can do this. I mean, I've done it before. This is like my second double-digit game in like in this stretch in this month. So, I mean, with the confidence that like Cam gives me, Thomas, Lindy, and Coach Boynton in practice, like they told me in practice if I get in the block, if I got a guard on me, like go score. So, I mean, there's times in practice I'm too passive, and they're like, go score. You can score. You're one of our best guys to go score in the paint. And with that confidence that they give me and with the experience that I've seen throughout this like whole year, I just feel like, I mean, I know what to do. I just go out there calmly and just stress-free, just play.
Is it relieving knowing that you're finally getting back to your brand of basketball, knowing how well you can play?
Yeah, at one point it was just a little bit too stressful because like I started to overthink a lot of stuff. Like when I was starting at one point, I was overthinking a lot. I didn't know like what was my role, lost track of that. But now I know my role, and like I can't let that just go ghost again, and just do what I know I can do. Come in here, rebound, be a spark off the bench.
How long can you guys enjoy this before you have to obviously lock it in?
Let's give it 30, 40 minutes, I guess. And then we're back to it, back to the drawing board. We're trying to get a win in Lawrence. So that's the next thing on the schedule.
What worked so well against Brady Manick?
Just being aggressive. I believe, you know, they use him a lot. So making him have to play both ends of the court a lot. You know, we pushed the ball in to Kalib when he was guarding him. Just over time, it might have wore him down just a little bit. And then also knowing where he is everywhere on the court when he's on offense too. So I think over time, you know, it's hard to play as many minutes as he does at a high level. So, you know, he's definitely going to have to take a few breaks maybe out there. His team may need him to. And, you know, I think we capitalized on that.
Was there anything specific Boynton had you guys do in practice that really helped you against Manick this time?
I could say just like one-on-one, and basically telling us it's pride to like guard Brady Manick and Doolittle and all them at the end of the day, because he knows everybody on this team could guard anybody one-on-one. So it just takes pride to do it. So that's what he preached, and that's what we did.
Cameron, you said you're definitely looking like you did in New York. Does it feel the way you've been playing this stretch, this 4 wins, 6 games? Does it feel like you're playing as well as you did in the NIT?
As a team?
Yes.
We're getting there. We're getting there. As a group, you know, you want to be playing your best basketball around this time of the year. So I definitely believe we're getting there. We're catching strides, you know, one game at a time, one practice at a time. So to answer your question, yes, I do believe that. But, you know, we have to be better than we were in New York in order to win big-time games.
Anybody else? Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate you wearing that orange blazer into the post game.
took my tie off prematurely in Norman, so I figured I'd keep it on the whole time this game.
Coach, why don't you get started with your thoughts on the game?
It's Bedlam, right? I mean, it means more. I think our kids played that way. I think big picture-wise, our teams continue to get better, and that's a credit to them. There obviously was an opportunity probably 3 or 4 weeks ago to kind of start hanging their heads and feeling sorry for themselves, and they haven't done that. Credit to the type of people they are, their parents, and to the staff that I have, that they were able to keep these guys in a positive frame of mind, and now we're starting to bear some fruit of some of the work that they put in leading up to this point.
Coach, I wanted to read a quote from you from the last game involving Brady Manick. You said, "That's what we need. We need someone like him to grab the bull by the horns and say, I'm going to be the guy that gets us going in the right direction. When you don't have a confident group, no one will step up and take that risk." That's what you said last time about Manick.
Yeah.
Mcgriff did that for you today. What does it mean to you to have him do that for you?
Yeah, I'll be perfectly honest with you. Mcgriff tried to start doing that leading into the last game in Norman, and it was kind of like he needed to get some more guys with him. Cam's been our most consistent player for about 5 or 6 weeks. Even in the games we haven't won, he's played pretty well. And at the end of the day, it's about players, and you got to have talented guys. You have to have experienced guys who understand what it takes to win. I've said it time and time again, this game honors hard work, and it gives you an opportunity to experience success when you handle it the right way. Cam Mcgriff's handled everything that's been thrown at him for 4 years the right way. He's worked as hard as anybody I've ever been around. He's had a good attitude about it. I'm sure there's been some frustrating moments, but he's been the type of leader that we've needed. And I'm proud that the numbers show up the way they did today. But like we say, the process takes care of the results. And that's what we saw from him and we're seeing from him.
What's your overall viewpoint of your team's defensive performance today?
Obviously, it starts with our emphasis. Brady Manick, he had 15 points in the first 4 minutes in Norman. That hasn't been lost on us. And save for that start, we didn't play terrible basketball down there. We weren't playing very confidently. But a lot of it started with our intention and our purpose on the defensive end. Today we did a much better job on him, and then it kind of led us to be able to do the job on the other guys. So, yeah, I'm proud. It's who we have to be. We have to be kind of a rugged team. We don't have an overwhelming amount of, high-end talent. We have really good kids who work really hard, who have some talent, but they need each other, and they've bought into that. And no one's trying to do it on their own. And that's noticeably evident on the defensive end because it takes 5 guys to get the job done.
Kalib talked about how in practice y'all worked on the really, one-to-one man defense, trying to work on guarding Brady Manick. What was your approach in practice, just trying to prepare him for that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably a tenth of the Coach Kruger is. I may not ever become as good as he is as a coach, but my job is to give our team a chance. The way they play, they try to space the floor and play one-on-one a lot. And so we needed to work on those situations. Cam Mcgriff, as good as he was on the offensive end, and he made shots consistently today, he was also assigned to guard Brady Manick for most of the game. So he did it on both ends of the court. I thought Ice at moments was really good defensively. He didn't have his best offensive game. But we got contributions from a lot of guys. It may be the first time that we've had Kalib and Yor both play well at the same time. And if we can do that consistently, we got a chance to build something that we believe can be sustainable long term. One's a freshman, one's a sophomore. So I feel good about where we're headed.
Cam's inside-out game, he said it's been kind of a message for most of the season for him to do that. Is it rewarding to see that it works so well today that it opens up the threes for him late?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I've said this before. Cam's a good shooter. But he's best, right, when he's attacking the basket. And so you got to play to your strongest points and to what the team needs from you. And maybe Cam becomes a professional basketball player who's relied on to shoot threes for our team, we need him around the basket, rebounding and defending and getting into the paint because he can finish so well, even against bigger guys. So his buy-in to that, he could be very selfish in a way of saying, you know what, when I have a good year, I'm going to try to show pro scouts that I'm a skilled player. But back to, his point, right? Cam's been our leader, and he's set the tone for how we're going to play. We talked about it. We play inside. But if Cam doesn't buy in, he can't hold the other guys accountable either to do it. And there's no question he's our leader vocally. And when he does something, not very many people challenge him saying something to him.
And Kalib, when you guys have made this focus to play inside, is also when Kalib started to the numbers to start falling for him. How has this helped Kalib, this style of play of feeding the ball inside?
And so Kalib Boone is our most natural post scorer. He's played there all his life, obviously, and he's been used to playing against guys about a foot shorter than him, unfortunately. So adjusting to the size and strength of college players has taken some time for him, but he's never lost his confidence in there. And he's a guy that we believe we can throw the ball inside to and have success. He's a willing passer. He's not a black hole, like it's never going to come out. And he cares about winning. And so his development has been directly related to our success. And, we need him to keep getting better as the season continues to move on.
At one point early in the second half, there were 7 fouls called on your team in 3 minutes. Were you seeing glimpses of Waco in that stretch?
No, I mean, I try not to get into officiating too much. I mean, I don't like when it's lopsided or feels like it's not being called the same way. But we've got good officials in our league. They work hard. I think they, for the most part, try to call the game the way it's supposed to be called. But this was a physical game, and obviously Coach Kruger tried to make a concerted effort that they were going to drive the ball to the basket there. And they drew some contact and put our guys in some foul trouble. But I was glad we responded, and we tried to start driving the basketball the other way because it gave us an opportunity to kind of offset their comeback by getting ourselves to the free throw line and getting to the paint.
Avery seemed really active today, even though it didn't necessarily show up in the box score. Did you feel like this was one of his better games that he's played? Yeah,
Avery's gotten better, It's really hard for young guys, even more for point guards. I play point guard, so I'm not probably the easiest guy to play point guard for. As my expectations of what they should be able to do for our team is really, really high. And so when we can get him to understand what our team needs, he's going to be a really, really important part of how we continue to build our program. In the meantime, he's got to learn where to pick his spots better. And if he focuses on the defensive end, that's where his greatest contributions are going to come for us right now.
Mike, we talked about played so well early and then likely gets out and you're having to struggle after that. Are you back to where you think you were close to where you were in New York?
Yeah, I mean, we're as close as we've been. I think the last 6 games we played really well in, and that includes the Baylor game. It also includes the West Virginia game, except for the second half of that game. I think we've played 11 out of 12 really good halves of basketball. And, just understanding who we have to be to have success, which may be different from what it was early in the year, is an adjustment that these kids have made. And obviously all the credit goes to them. And I look forward to seeing how we finish the last couple of weeks.
Wearing the orange blazer, it's something obviously Coach Bucky did. Just kind of what does it mean to you to be able to wear it?
I've talked time and time again about how much it means for me to be the coach here. I understand, I have a deep understanding of the history and tradition of this program. This is Mr. Iber's program and Coach Sutton's basketball program. Obviously, Coach Bucky was a big part of our women's program, and I stand on those guys' shoulders all the time and thankful for the opportunity to do so. It's also about our fans. Bedlam's a big deal. I've never shied away from that. And for our fans to understand how committed we are as a whole group. This is just a small token of what it means to play in this game and have the opportunity to represent Oklahoma State in it. It's really, really important. So I hope it looked good because I don't like coaching with a jacket on. It's pretty hot. But it was important today.
You guys got another big game coming up at Kansas. How do you kind of bottle this up and build on it to get ready for that game?
I mean, there's a lot this team is still playing for, and so I mean, there are no more bigger resume building wins than going to the Allen Fieldhouse. I got 4 guys on the roster, 3 who've played and win up there. And so we're going to need to find a way to offset 2 of maybe the 2 best players in the conference, right? They got the 2 guys who I would guess if the season ended today, they would have the co-players of the year on the same team, and Dotson and Doak. So big challenge ahead of us, but I'm excited for the opportunity to go up there and see what we're made of, right? There are a few places that are really, really special to play in. This is the best one. This is the best place in the country to play basketball in. And we're getting back to where those crowds are going to be consistent, but that's probably somewhere in the top 5, Allen Fieldhouse.
Did you watch any of their game?
Watch the whole thing. Yep, every possession.
What did you think of that?
They're really good. If we if we keep letting Doak catch lobs, it's gonna be a long day. So we got to figure out a way to do a better job at that. That was pretty impressive. I think it goes to show you what development looks like. I mean, he went from a struggling athlete, big body, to a guy who can move defensively and offensively. Can probably play 35 minutes today. I mean, that's, man, I'll figure it out.
What did it mean to get Hadlock at 3 today?
The play was for Trey Reeves.
Right.
And, he kind of overthought this thing. He's too smart for that, right? He's too smart for me. I should have dropped the play for somebody to pass it to him after he was open. But he comes off the screen wide open. And I'm telling you, Trey Reeves may be the slowest person I've ever seen in my life. So I think he was shocked that he was that open. And then he shot-faked himself out of a shot. But he will tell you that the plan all along was to get J.K. a shot. And it may very well be that way. But I've been so blessed to have an opportunity to be with Trey for 4 years. He has made me a better person and coach. And I can't wait to see what happens for him next. And there's no doubt he's going to be successful because that selflessness, right? Most people are going to shoot that ball without a doubt, even if they're guarded. And for him to even think that he could pass it to his teammate just goes to show you his commitment to team. No one embodies the spirit of Oklahoma State basketball more than he does, and I'm just thankful that I get to spend time with him. I hate that it's kind of running out here lately, but I'm proud that I've been around him.
I know he's been hurt. What was the decision to put him in? I mean, was there?
We got to a point late. I just asked him, if he wanted to get in this game, and yeah, he wanted to get in this game. It was important to him, and so that's where that came from.
Mike, we talked a lot about the recruiting class and the future and all that. How important is it, no matter what goes with the rest of the season for these guys, but how important was it to get some success going after the struggles of January for the future?
I think sometimes there's a thought that those things are like mutually exclusive. You're either focusing on building for the future and you're recruiting all the time, or you think you have a good team and you try to have success with them. I think my job is actually to do both, and it's hard. It's not easy, but that's what's necessary. And when I was blessed with the opportunity through Coach Holder and the board to have this job, I told them that I was going to commit everything I had to it. And so, yeah, recruiting's a big deal. There's probably nothing more important that I do other than help these kids here get better than to continue to build our roster of talent and put ourselves in a position for future success. And so, yeah, it's a big deal for us to also show the guys that are coming to this program what the expectations are, how we're going to play no matter what. Whether we're having a good year, bad year, good game, bad game, we're going to play a certain way. We have to continue to establish what our identity as a program is, and that doesn't change. Again, the process, right? Go back. The process dictates the results, not the other way around. And so our process in recruiting, we feel like is good, is in a good place. We got to continue to mine the fields where there's talent. But I think our process in terms of our approach to this deal is always we want to get better as the season goes along. Pretty certain that was evident my first year. I think we got better as the season went along. Last year we had some different circumstances, but I think our team got better as the season went along. And I think there may be some evidence, I don't know how much, that this team has gotten better in the last 3 or 4 weeks of this season heading down the home stretch. So you have to do both. It's a full-time job, but I truly believe that I'm built for this.
Guys like the Boones and and likely whoever else I'm forgetting, it's going to be back next year. I mean, playing this way and having success, is that a sign that, hey, we don't have to sit here and wait for the cavalry to arrive?
Yeah, I mean,
you know, we can have a pretty strong foundation when they get here.
Sure. I think that's important. As good as next year's class is right now, they're all freshmen. So they'll have some adjustments to make too, and we'll need the guys that will be juniors and sophomores to help them understand early on what success looks like, how you work towards it, and it's important that these guys understand their responsibility to this program, and their responsibility is to give us everything they have every day, and then let the results take care of themselves.
I mean, looking at your seniors, the time is winding down. Eventually, they're going to be gone off. What did it mean to see your seniors get this Bedlam win, especially for Cam to play the way he did in their last Bedlam here?
Yeah, like I said, the game honors work. This game, I've been around it all my life, and it's a big part of the reason I've been able to have whatever amount of success that I've been able to have as a player and coach is because you just keep at it, man. You don't allow tough times, tough practices, tough games, tough stretches of games, maybe a bad month like we had, to change how you approach it. Because ultimately, if you stick with it, if you really are committed to it, it'll work out for you. I'm not sure there's a group of guys who've been through more as college basketball players than those guys. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe there are. But they've never, ever given in. They haven't always played well, but they've always showed up with good attitudes, and they've always honored the opportunity to be here in this program and the way they worked and have helped our young guys. I believe we'll finish. I think the game will honor them as we finish.
Coach, you kind of talked about the crowd tonight. In what ways did the environment and the fans tonight really, help you guys succeed?
Yeah, I mean, listen, our crowds have been really, really good. And again, I've said it before, it's a part of the reason I can go out and do the other part of the job when we're not doing well. It's because there's a vision and a understanding about how much basketball means at Oklahoma State. Our crowd has showed up even when we haven't done well. We haven't sold out every game, but I've always felt like our crowd's been engaged. And I feel like they believe in where we're going and that the program is headed back to where they want it to be. Ultimately, I think the crowds will get better, quite honestly. But what they've done for us is they've helped us stabilize. They've helped our kids continue to believe in themselves because it's hard, to be perfectly honest. If you walk out there and no one cares and no one's showing up and no one wants to help you get over the hump. We got down, the league got cut to maybe 6 today, and our crowd was right there. And really, really helped us get over the hump. So I can't say enough about what Oklahoma State basketball fans have shown me for 3 years now. And I haven't done enough for them yet. And ultimately, I have to make sure that I hold up my end of the bargain.
Did you hear them when you walked out? They all got excited when they saw the jacket.
I don't really hear – I hear noise, but I'm usually pretty focused on trying to find another coach or whatever it is. And so I don't ever really notice the volume of it. So, but I know how much today's game means to our fans, and I'm glad that we're able to get a win for them.
Thanks, everybody.